So this is how much we've defunded police, that the police couldn't even figure out where her body was. An internet sleuth did that. We're basically at the point now where we're depending on teenage TikTokers to solve crimes for us, because that's exactly what happened. These kids sifted through all their Instagram, and that's how much time they have on their fucking hands. They sifted through the Instagrams of this Long Island couple. They've sifted through the footage of other people, and they figured out that there was like a flip-flop on the floor, who knows, a flashlight, and where the car was. So they went and looked for her body by there. And guess what? She was dead. And I don't know who could have done it. How the fuck did the Florida Police Department, that is control that area, let that kid come home? Now, this is the thing. I usually make a lot of jokes about white privilege, but let's just score one here for white privilege. They're a childhood couple, right? The guy returns home without her and the car. She's missing. Okay? His parents fucking don't say anything for a while. Finally, they do. The police go, where is she? He's not talking. So they leave and let him hang out at the house with his parents, and then somehow stop watching him, and he's able to just escape. How the fuck does that happen? That score one for evidence of white privilege there. They just probably walked in, and his wife, his mother and wife of his father probably served him a nice home-cooked meal, and they left and just said, thank you, man. God bless Tim Tebow, and we're out of here. COVID's not real. As long as you vote the right way, we're not going to search for your son, because we doubt that he did it, because he's a good kid. And, who did they think killed it? I mean, how many times does a girl go missing for a couple of days and she just turns up in a fucking mall, getting a Starbucks coffee and then sneaking into a Wetzel's Pretzel to have a peruse? How many times does that end good when someone's missing? You know what else could have tipped you off? That the boyfriend didn't want to say anything. And they said technically they couldn't arrest him or hold him for questioning because it wasn't a homicide. It was a missing person search. Okay, I understand you were sticking to the law. And Florida's got some fun laws, which one of them is stand your ground, which basically means anyone on your property, you can murder. So if you kill your whole family, all the cops got to do is check whose name's on the deed. And if the father pays the bills, well, technically they were on his property, so there's nothing they can do. So if you want to kill your whole family, go see our fucking local sponsor who handles the South Florida region. Move your family there and just make sure you pay the bills. And you will stand your ground. So apparently that's what they said. It was a missing person's case, so they couldn't really. But you think you might want to keep an eye on the fucking kid? Do you think you might want to keep an eye so he doesn't flee? He's not talking. She's missing. What do you think happened? You think she died of COVID? Who do you think got her? White supremacists? There's one fucking suspect. And it's not Michael Vick. And like a week before, they had like a domestic abuse situation where the Utah police pulled them over, and it's all on body cam footage. And here's some more privilege. They separated them for the night. Is this story real, dude? Or is this like a government-created story to distract us from something else? Like maybe arming up with Australia to fight China. Something's going on, because this story seems written by story editors. This seems like a fucking episode of The Osbournes on MTV. Or if you're only 20 years old, an episode of what's the big reality show? The Bachelor. Whatever your fucking genre is, because none of us watch the same shit anymore. We're all living on different planets. Whatever fucking reality trash you watch that isn't reality, it seems like that. Jersey Shore or fucking whatever that basketball kid who's like a squeak, but he's nice, and he has a reality show on now, like Vice, or whatever the shit you're watching. What is going on? So they pull the kids over in Utah, right? She's got like scratches on her face. They were like hitting each other or something. It was such a bad physical altercation that a passerby called the cops because they were concerned. So the cops stopped them. They separate them. And then they pay for like a night for one of them to stay at a hotel and one of them to sleep in the van. I got to admit, if I was black, I'm going, what the fuck is going on over here? Okay? What the fuck's going on? You remember that kid, Dylan Roof, who they like took to go get a burger after he murdered a whole church? Yeah, I mean, you can't just say that these things don't piss people off. And maybe I'm a little more sensitive to this because I was just in Richmond, the home of the Confederacy. I did those shows for the Union. Unlike Shane Gillis, who was there a couple weeks before and just wrote on the wall, "Thank you, Shane Gillis." He did those shows for himself. I did those shows for the North. I mean, what the fuck, dude? They put one of them up in a hotel. Am I right? Can you Google that? They separated them. Cops were like, here's what we're going to do tonight. First of all, they took time out of their day to deal with a couple hitting each other. The body cam footage is like an hour. You don't have some other shit to do in Utah? Is there not some fucking Mormon weirdo raping his daughter trying to create some sort of super cult that you can go stop? They separate them and they go, we're putting one of you up in a hotel, one of you sleeps in the van. As if that was going to stop the murderer. Good job. But also, I don't blame them. Maybe the cops have been defunded so much that they're like, look, we don't have the apparatus to even follow you or write a police report or whatever. But they definitely separated them for the night. And then she disappears. He comes home to Florida and is able to escape. Now, here's the interesting thing. The kid is still on the lam. By the time this episode comes out, he may show up dead or he may get caught somewhere. But I'm rooting for the kid a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Not because I want a murderer to get away. The murder's already happened. We can't bring her back. But maybe for a bigger cause. Maybe this will deflate some of the conspiracy that people have about how the government's watching you. Because the government can't even find this fucking kid, and he's used his cell phone. He went live on Instagram. Again, the police didn't tell us that. Some internet sleuths who were following his account. Can they not track him, like, with his cell phone? They can't find this fucking kid. He did a decoy. He left his car at some other park, and then he did a live Instagram of like water. So either we're dealing with like the talented Mr. Ripley, like this kid is an evil genius, or we have defunded the police so much that they just don't even operate anymore. So this is good for a few reasons. First of all, that first part I raved about white privilege, but I'm a comedy show. So now let's talk about how this isn't white privilege, okay? Because here's a white kid who they're letting get away with it after he killed a white girl. So, he wrote Laura Petito and spent the night apart. While they both expressed they wanted to separate, Robbins wrote Petito kept the van while Laundrie checked into a hotel for the evening. Yeah, I saw the body cam footage while the police said that they were going to do that. Whether the police paid for it or not, I don't know. They're two kids from Long Island. They probably got a little bit of cash. They probably put it on their fucking PayPal, and they separated for the night. That was the police solution when they stopped him in Utah. But they can't find this kid. I refuse to believe that he's the talented Mr. Ripley and he's that much of an evil genius. Although maybe he is, because like I said, he left his car one place and then he did a quick Instagram video. Like he went live on Instagram for a second and there was a body of water where he could have, if he was smart, he could have just paid some other kid to take his phone and say, here's $200, go live, go take this ferry and just go live for 2 seconds and show a body of water. And he's got these kids fucking running around like goddamn Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can. So part of me wants him to get away with it a little longer because first of all, it's fun. And I know Hollywood's like, keep it going. We're going to make a movie about this in 3, 2, 1 Contact because there's not a tragedy we don't want to benefit from. Yes, that first 9/11 movie was too soon. What was it, like a year later? But also because this could maybe deflate some of the conspiracy that the government is watching you at all times. The government's not watching you at all times, dog. Okay? Who the hell has the goddamn resolve or attention span to pay attention to your boring life for more than 3 seconds? I sometimes don't even want to watch my own life, let alone even if I was getting paid to watch my life, I'd be like, dog, there's not enough money you could pay me to watch Yannis Pappas sniff his own balls on the couch all day. The government doesn't care about you. Nobody does. You're not important. You don't have secrets. You're not talking to the Mossad. You have a mental illness. Go take medication. And by medication, I mean don't support Big Pharma. Listen to the Rogan podcast and take ivermectin. Put it in your ass. That's another story that's going on now that people are putting ivermectin in their asshole. I don't buy it. Because I read 2 articles, one saying that Scandinavians were putting snooze in their ass. Google this. And another one that said people were stuffing ivermectin in their ass. Now, I don't want to believe Americans or people have gotten that stupid and we're living in an idiocracy. I want to believe this is a media scheme to make those people feel stupid who are still buying ivermectin. And you are stupid, but I feel like that's got to be propaganda because there's no way people are putting ivermectin in their ass. Please tell me I'm wrong, Drew. Please tell me that article is from Vice or Paste Magazine or the New Republic, a shit rag. Please don't tell me it's from Reuters or the New York Times or the Washington Post. J Harvin 15 says, I heard putting ivermectin in your ass has the same effect as using a Tushy bidet. It cleans your asshole. It takes away the fumes.